Today we have a special podcast on the 5 seniors, 4 to 5 which making all conference and putting Forsyth back on the map. Forsyth finished with a record of 6-4 in the regular season, losing the AL run in their first round of postseason, which left them with a record of 6-5. Marquine Carmichael, a 6'5" senior, played slot, cornerback, and kick return. He combined for a season-high 7 touchdowns, 35 receptions, and 700 yards. He was also an All-Northwest selection. Quentin Thompson, a 5'9" senior and star running back, broke Forsyth school record with 21 touchdowns in the season and 4 touchdowns in a single game. He rushed for 1,462 yards on 192 carries. He also had 11 receptions for 188 yards. He was also an All-Northwest selection. Chenard Alexander, starting quarterback, 5'9" senior, won Offensive Player of the Year in the conference, tied Forsyth school record with 18 passing touchdowns in the season. He acquired for over 2,500 rushing yards, or yards of the Forsyth offense, along with 26 touchdowns. Here's his stat line: 2,088 passing yards on 156 of 260 passing yards for 18 touchdowns. 567 rushing yards on 125 carries for 8 touchdowns. 1 reception for 54 yards, 2 interceptions, and 4 fumbles. Patrick Green, the 6'3" senior who played linebacker and wide receiver, had an outstanding senior season, earning Defensive Player of the Year in the conference, and originally committing to ECU to play linebacker in the fall. He recorded 61 tackles, 5 sacks, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 4 touchdowns. Javon McCullough, a 6' senior, played safety, recording 50 tackles, 2 quarterback carry-ups, 1 sack, 10 big hits. His plans are attending college to play football next year in the fall. Welcome to Forsyth Podcast. I'm Mike Chambers.
I'm Emily Langford.
And today we're here with Patrick Green. How long have you been playing football?
Been playing football since Pop Warner, middle school. Now I'm playing in high school, getting ready to go to college.
What position do you play?
Wide receiver and linebacker. But I prefer linebacker because you get to hit people, but I also have wide receiver. I like to keep the ball in my hands.
How did it feel making all conference this year?
Felt great, but if it weren't for my team, I wouldn't be in that position to win it.
What was your best game and why?
Best game, Northeast Gifford. Because it was a lot of clutch moments that I had in that game that helped my team win.
What was your least favorite game this season and why?
Our playoff game against A.L. Brown, it was a heartbreaker. We was up 14 with 2 minutes left in the game, and we gave it all away. And it was our last game of the season.
How many tackles and sacks did you record this season?
At least 70 tackles, 10.5 sacks.
Do you have a pregame ritual? If so, what is it?
Just listen to music, getting hyped in my mind, ready for the game, just motivation.
If you could change something about this past season, what would it be?
My dedication. Like in the summer I was playing basketball and I listened to my dad, so it hurt me kind of in my process of my senior year, but obviously it worked out for the best.
How do you think your freshman year will go at Eastern Carolina?
It'll go great. Now, nervous a little bit, but I think it'll go great.
Do you believe your senior year was a success?
Yes, because I made all conference defense player of the year, 3A, but like I said, if it wasn't for my team, I wouldn't be in that position.
Thank you for watching the Forsyth Podcast. We'll be back next week for the podcast. Welcome to the Forsyth Podcast. I'm Mike Chambers.
I'm Emily Langford.
And today we're here with Chenard Alexander. How long have you been playing football?
I've been playing football all my life, since Pop Warner up until now.
What position do you play?
I play quarterback.
How did it feel making all conference this year?
It felt good.
What was your best game and why?
My best game, I say, had to be in Lefford because we was down 14-0. I brought my team back.
What is your least favorite game of the year?
I had to say Mount Tabor because we lost to a whole bunch of underclassmen.
How many touchdowns did you throw and rush for this season?
I threw 18 touchdowns and rushed for 8 this season.
Do you have a pregame ritual? If so, what is it?
No, sir.
If you could change something about this season, what would it be?
I had to say that first loss in the playoffs against AFC Brown.
What is your future plan for sports?
To take it to the next level of college and to become an NBA player.
Do you believe your senior year was a success?
Yes, I think so, because in football we put North back on the map.
Thank you for watching the Forsyth Podcast. We'll be back next week for the podcast.
Welcome to the Forsyth Podcast. I'm Ladante Harmon. I'm Corey Lawson, and we are here with Marquine Carmichael. What sports do you play at Forsyth?
I played football, basketball, and I run track.
How was team chemistry this year?
It was great. We became a family out there on the field.
How long have you been playing those sports?
Ever since second grade.
What's your favorite part about this season?
The first home opener against Carlton, we surprised a lot of people.
Do you plan on playing any other sports after high school?
Yes, I plan to play football at Mississippi State.
Did you enjoy participating in your sport this year?
I loved it.
How many touchdowns did you have this season?
I had 8 touchdowns altogether this season.
Who got you interested in playing the sport?
My dad, he was a big sports person.
What was the low point in your career?
When he died freshman year, it kind of tore me apart.
What was your best game and why?
My best game would have been against Reagan. Even though we lost, I managed to bring my team back.
Thank you for watching the Forsyth Podcast. Tune in next week.
Forsyth Podcast. I am Mike Chambers.
I'm Dante Harmon.
Today we're here with Jay McCullough.
What sport do you play in North Forsyth?
I play both basketball and football. Football here.
How many tackles did you have this past season?
I had over 100. I don't know exactly how much, but I know I led the team in tackles per game.
Who inspired you to play football?
I always played when I was younger, and my parents signed me up when I was little. I took 2 years off of high school, which wasn't the brightest of ideas, but that's really how it started.
Do you have a pregame ritual? If so, what is it?
Nothing fancy. I don't do no Ray Lewis type thing or nothing like that. I just listen to my phone and whatever's on the radio.
What was the best game of this season and why?
The best game for me personally was against Northeast Guilford. We got down early and I made a couple big plays to impact the game. I had 4 forced fumbles. I led the team in tackles and I had 2 fumble recoveries.
What is your role on the defense? How did you impact it?
I played strong safety and I was the captain of the defense. I called the plays and helped people go where they need to go.
What was your worst game of the season?
West Forsyth, I didn't have any big plays. I just had a lot of tackles.
What will be your most memorable thing about this past season?
My most memorable thing wasn't a good thing, but it was how we lost. We were up by 2 touchdowns, and we still didn't find a way to win in the playoffs.
How was team chemistry this season?
It was okay. I mean, with any team, you have bumps and bruises, but we found a way to make it work, and that was the main thing.
What are your future plans for sports after high school?
For football, I have Randolph Macon looking at me. That's like the #1 team. They showed the most interest. Emory and Henry, and that's really it.
Thanks for tuning in to the Forsyth Podcast. We'll be back. Welcome to Forsyth Podcast. I'm Mike Chambers.
I'm Corey Lawson.
And today we're here with Quentin Thompson. What sport do you play?
Play basketball and football.
How did you get involved in football?
I got involved because I started watching people and other kids that played in my neighborhood, so I started playing properly.
Do you have a pregame ritual?
Yeah, I go get food. Cookout is my favorite.
What was your best game and why?
My best game was all of them because I don't really have bad games.
Alright, well, do you have a bad game? Have you ever had a bad game?
No.
What will you miss most about this season?
I miss my teammates, my coaches, and North putting back on their uniform.
How many rushing touchdowns and rushing yards you had this past season?
I had 18 touchdowns and 1,500 rushing yards.
Who inspired you to play football?
My peers and myself, mostly.
Do you believe this past season was a success?
Yes, and somewhat. We did better than we did last year, but didn't make it further than I thought we were.
What are your future plans for sports after high school?
Planning on playing JUCO and then transferring to university.
Thanks for watching this podcast. We'll be back next time for the podcast.